So I'm pretty sure we can all agree that the text format is not the best one out there. Um, so I guess I'll be doing things like this moving forward. This is kind of awkward for me because English is not my native language. So I hope to make myself clear and hopefully this goes alright. So moving on, this is Asbjörn's low poly head. It has 8,520 polygons and 17,040 triangles, which is fine. Nowadays game characters usually have more than that, so it's alright. My goal is to stay in between, somewhere in between 70,000 and 80,000 polygons for the whole character. I'll probably stay under that though, because I always like to stay under the limits to know I'm extra safe. Okay, the whole model here for the head is 34,148 polygons and 66,612 triangles, which is higher, obviously. And it's mainly because of the hair, which was done in fiber mesh. So I'll be definitely lowering that once I have the texture done. So it's easier for me to preview the final result. And I'll also lower the eyes. The eye model, I have it from a long time ago. I've always used it. It is UV unwrapped, so I just don't have to repeat the same eye for every single character. So I just use the same one. So we just lower it and it would be fine. And the teeth are still missing. I will for sure do a video on that. And ZBrush, I'll do the teeth. So yeah, just wanted to point out that right now it's a little bit higher on the polygon side than how it's gonna be at the end. And on a final note, you've probably noticed already this is Blender. If you are wondering what happened to Max, well, yeah, that happened. I never liked Max anyway, and I wanted to do that, but I was forced to do it last week because it was insane. I almost lost every progress that I did there in a bunch of important files, so thankfully I was able to save them. But yeah, I had to dedicate almost last week entirely to fix the mess Max created, and I ended up being super mad. And I said, yeah, you know what, I'm tired. I'm tired. So yeah, I never did that before because I guess comfort zone. I've been taught to use Max and I've been always using it for like a year or so now. So yeah, forget about Max. It's gone, and now I'm really looking forward to dive into Blender because this past update had been huge and it's a free software. It has tons of possibilities, and overall, like, I'm really liking it. So I still have to learn a lot, and I'll learn as I go. I hope this intro is not super long. If it is, I'll just put a timestamp or something to indicate where the texture paint starts. So yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, so Substance did a pretty good job making the textures. I found some issues here and there, especially in the leap area, and the majority of them are already fixed. I fixed them in Photoshop. There's still some minor thingies that I would like to fix, but that's just patience in Photoshop, so we'll be fine. Here I'm painting the skin, which is also pretty straightforward. I have painted a skin before, so this was not really a challenge, although this is my first time painting dark skin. So just to make sure I was doing things correctly, I searched a tutorial on YouTube and I found one by Genesis Williams, which I will leave in the description because I found pretty useful, and he explains things in a real simple way. So go check that out if you're interested in doing some black characters. He has a really good tutorial on how to do so. The process is the same as painting Caucasian skin, but there's some slight differences, and then there's the color schemes, obviously, which are very different. So for the hair base and the sides, I first masked out the area, and then I used a bunch of procedural maps using triplanar projection and rotating them, scaling them in different axes to create as much variation as possible. I first used the 4 maps, but then I was not quite getting the result I wanted, so I switched to the cells and also added bigger ones with a smart mask and less opacity to create even more variation. Afterwards, I paint underneath it with a darker tone of the skin to help with these shapes. If you get close enough, you can see their dots, but this was the best method I came up with, so I think it looks fine, it looks okay, but if I see some other way to do it and I can end up with a better result, then I'll definitely repeat it.
Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations, they keep weighing me down.
I am not done with the skin yet, but I was pretty excited to start with the eyes. This is the first time I try to aim for a realistic type result, so I was pretty excited to try out some things, and pretty much what I did is create some masks in Photoshop and play with them. You'll see me trying tons and tons of different combinations for the eyes. I come back and forth. I was not really pleased with how the eye looks, and then I was trying out some different combinations until I finally got what I wanted.
Enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Disgusted with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face, a certain weight, because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah.
A little bit of light, a little bit of gold. Under pressure, you start to fold like a diamond from gold. Maybe you are something I cannot define. Maybe you are the fallen kind. I lay in bed with violence, the silent side of me. We see where fire starts to breathe. When I would lay in silence, the voice inside
Yeah, we said we let it go, but we settled for the last. Couldn't let you want it though. Who am I to let you down? No, who am I to let you down, down, down? If you let me walk away, maybe then we'd lose it all. No.
So for the hair, I ended up making some masks in Photoshop. I hand painted everything into different layers so I could assign different values of color and height. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If this was long hair, I would have done it in a different way, but this is short hair and curly, and I've never done something like that before. So this is the best thing I came up with, and in the end, I think it looks good, so I'm honestly happy with it. So here I'm re-importing the mesh with different normals for the hair. That's probably the only thing I will miss from Max, which was a plugin. It's called something normals thief. So what it does is transfers the normals from one object to another. It was super awesome, and I hope to find something similar for Blender. Because yeah, especially for the hair, that's what I've been using forever, and it's been super handy.
go so fast, all tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay my mind like standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I know no patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger,
So I was not really happy with how the diffuse map for the eyes looked, so I went back to it, and there was some layer that was doing a weird effect with the levels. I removed it and did some other modifications in Photoshop with a mask overlaid. It was either overlay or multiply and then decrease the opacity. I always do that with the curvature in Photoshop because I think it looks way better. And so I did the same thing for the skin, the base color of the skin, and then I did the roughness map, and that's it for the head pretty much.
a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger, What can I do to make you stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger.
So this is what I ended up with. I know it's not the best thing out there, but I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. It's by far the best thing I've ever done, and I look forward to keep improving, and I feel like I'm going down the right path. So I'm happy with what I've achieved. I know it can be improved, and it's again not the best thing, but for me, in my experience, I feel pretty happy about it. So I'm not sure how this video would be because I'm nervous. It's the first time I do something like this in English, and it's weird. So hopefully it's not that bad and not awkward at all. But I'll get used to it. This is the first time, so I'm nervous. The next video would be on the body, the nude body. I'll do the nude body because just in case I want to change the outfit at some point, I don't have to redo the body or do the texture for the entire body. I'll just cut the mesh and just I know what I would do, but I prefer to have the base body textured as well, just in case I want to do some different combinations of outfits. And then I'll just start with the clothes and the accessories and everything else. So I'm really looking forward to keep going. Texturing is my favorite part out of making a character, so I'm really excited. So yeah, hopefully you liked this one, and see you in the next video.